What a stunning run chase by England. England won the second test match, and what a remarkable victory. This team, under the captaincy of Ben Stokes, is looking like a completely different team. England team is playing like champions. Really, this was a really amazing match. And in this match, Johnny Bairstow was their hero along with Ben Stokes. Although there were other good performances also, like Daryl Mitchell from New Zealand, he must be feeling really unlucky after having scored 190 runs in the first innings and still ending up on the losing side. And in this match, on the last day, England had a target of 299 runs and they had to chase it in 72 overs. So they didn't even have full day of play available with them, but they won with 22 overs remaining. That is, they chased down this target of 299 runs in only 50 overs. And while doing that, they made few world records also. Like this is the highest run chase at this venue of Trent Bridge. Also, another world record which has been made in this match is that in this match, the net scoring rate of both the teams over all the 5 days has been 4.10. And this is the highest net scoring run rate for a test match. So, this is also a record. Then, another record which has been made is that in this test match, 1000 plus runs have been scored in boundaries. And this has happened for the first time. So maximum number of boundaries in terms of fours and sixes have been scored in this match in a test match. That is another world record in this match. So never in the history of test cricket has 1000 runs been scored in a test match in boundaries. But this has happened in this test match. And Johnny Bairstow, who scored 136 runs, including seven sixes, and he scored that century, those runs in only 92 balls, and he missed the English record of fastest test century by only one ball. Bairstow scored his century in 77 balls, and the English record of fastest test century was with Gilbert Joseph, who made it 120 years ago, and he scored in 76 balls. So if Bairstow had scored those century in only one less ball, that then he would have equaled the English record. But if we talk about the world record, well, in that case, Johnny Bairstow missed it by a big margin because the world record is held by Brendan McCullum, their new coach. He has the world record of fastest test century, and that is in 54 balls, or I think 55 balls. So he was, Bairstow was quite away from that record, but he could have made the English record of fastest test century. And England, while chasing this huge total in the fourth innings on day 5, they were really in a spot of bother when they were struggling at 93 for 4. And English side of the past certainly would have gone for a draw. Going for a draw and putting all the shutters down would have been an easier option. And I think most of the teams would have gone for a draw from that stage. But I don't know what their new captain, Ben Stokes, said to Bairstow at the other end, because they were batting together. And when both of them came after tea, then also 160 runs were needed and 38 overs were remaining. So it was still a big target, and Johnny Bairstow really went berserk from there. And they scored those 160 runs in only 16 overs. That is at a run rate of 10 after tea. And Bairstow was 43 net out at tea. And he went on to score another 93 runs in the last session. And when Bairstow was out, still 27 runs were needed and 5 wickets were remaining. And Ben Stokes was there with their captain Stokes. And Ben Stokes was dropped when 14 more runs were needed. So maybe if that catch had been held, maybe New Zealand could have made some impact. But still, I think even if the catch would have been held, England would still have scored those runs because Ben Stokes was there at the other end. And I would say England was a bit lucky also, and New Zealand was a bit unlucky also, because one of the frontline bowlers of New Zealand, Kyle Jamieson, he got injured during the match. He had a lower back pain, and because of that, he didn't bowl in the last innings. So maybe because of that also, England benefited. But still, I wouldn't say that New Zealand bowlers were tired because they didn't have to bowl a lot of overs. England scored these runs in only 50 overs, so they still had a decent bowling attack. They still had Saudi, Bolt, and Henry with them. But if they had Jamieson also, then who knows? Maybe they would have given a better fight, or even New Zealand could have won, or maybe the match could have ended in a draw. So luck was also with Ben Stokes. I would say Ben Stokes leadership. He has been proving a really good, a really different leader for England, and also a lucky leader. And New Zealand would be really feeling unlucky also because they scored 553 runs in the first innings. And that is a huge score after scoring 553 runs in the first innings. And then they scored 284 runs in the second innings. So it was not that they had a batting collapse in the second innings. Their score was pretty good in the second innings also. And they ended up on the losing side after that. I would say that even the New Zealand team didn't really deserve to lose this match, but still, luck was with England, and England really played well, especially Johnny Bairstow and along with him, Ben Stokes. And if you look at the entire match, there were other spectacular performances, also some more centuries, but these centuries were overshadowed by the century of Bairstow. Like in the first innings of New Zealand, we had Daryl Mitchell who scored 190 runs. So that was a big century, and also Tom Blundell, their wicketkeeper batsman, scored 104 runs. Then England made 539 runs in the first innings, and they also had two big centuries. Joe Root scored 176 runs. Oli Pope scored 145 runs. But all these four centuries were overshadowed by Johnny Bairstow on day five with his brilliant century, and also with the fifth wicket partnership between Bairstow and Ben Stokes for 179 runs. And both of them scored these 179 runs in 20.1 overs only. So it was a display of sort of their T20 talent. Well, that was an amazing test match, a thrilling, stunning test match. And these are the type of test matches which are going to keep the test format alive in this era of T20 format. England has now won the series 2-0. So good luck for England, but bad luck for New Zealand, and really well played. Both the teams played well, but England won this test match and they have won the series. So let's see now what New Zealand can do in the third match, if they can salvage some pride and maybe win the third match, or at least have a draw. Or if England can win the third match, well, a result of 3-0 complete whitewash, that will be a big achievement for them. Because the last time when New Zealand came to England, it was last year only, just before the WTC final. And in that series, New Zealand won 1-0. So this is a really turnaround, a big turnaround for England under the captaincy of Ben Stokes and with their new coach, Brendan McCullum. Really a stunning test match, and I'm looking forward to what happens in the third match now.